before you am the paragon of a failed generation. This is not a popular opinion. There is too much porn on the internet. There is. No, seriously, look at it. Take the internet, an all-encompassing global source of information that we can be using to learn about every event in history, every cultural shift in every country, except, well, I think Bhutan, but fuck Bhutan. And what do we use it for? Penises and vaginas being placed in even more increasingly alien places and things. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm no prude. I get drunk playing Never Have I Ever faster than any of my friends. And if you don't believe me, talk to anybody who came to Mudfest last year. On second thought, please don't talk to anyone I went to Mudfest with. So, there is far too much porn on the internet. Now, I'm not saying that sex is bad. I like it. Now, you're probably wondering, what about the numbers? Well, I have numbers for you. I'm a Jew on a crusade. Of course I got numbers. According to Google, as of last month, there are 1.84 billion websites on the internet. Now, there are some people who say there's 2.2 billion, but let's face it, you're probably not using any of those other search engines unless you're seriously using Naver.com. And if you are, really, dude? But anyway, 1.84 billion. According to a study by Optinet in 2010, 37% of the internet is for porn. Well, that's not really true. The real number is actually just 4%. 4%, really tiny. Well, 4% of 1.84 billion is... I see we don't really have a math crowd here. 4% of 1.84 billion is 72 million. That's M-I-L-L-I-O-N. Million. Now, if we had 72 million matchsticks that we laid out together in the right pattern, we could build a bridge to anywhere on Earth and be ready to fuck who or whatever was waiting on the other side of it. Now, well, it's a good thing that all that porn has prepared us for that, Jeremy, isn't it? Well, hold on, Sparky. It's not like during the days of the Cold War, where porn was restricted to seedy outlets like convenience stores or the bottom drawer in your parents' room or your friend's house. Back then, porn was impossible to get a hold of, and what there was not high def, which is really good because the actors were not pretty. But you know what? It was better. A lot more hair back then. Sorry, I get distracted then. So yes, wow. Porn was really hard to get a hold of. Now, as porn hard to get a hold of. Now, the thing with porn and all that stuff is that people see something, it becomes cool. Think about kids who watch things on YouTube, like parkour, or Gangnam Style, or fucking Let It Go. Oh my god, how many times have we heard that song? So, kids see stuff on the internet, they emulate it. And that's where the problem comes in, because it works the same way with porn. Kids watch porn, and, well, it depends on where they're from. See, porn, I've noticed, not that I've done an extensive study of it, porn varies based on where you are. Take the Italians, for example. Very slow, very passionate, a lot of tongues being used. But it's very romantic, passionate. Two people working together for like a mutual shared goal. It's kind of nice. The English porn, I've noticed, is very tongue-in-cheek, and no, that's not a reference to rimming. See, they think that sex is a funny thing. Sex should have a blooper reel, and let's face it, it probably should. How many times has something embarrassing happened to you during sex, and you just laugh about it? Just me? Now, moving right along. American porn, on the other hand, we have the bang bus. I see that not everyone here is from America, so it is my unfortunate duty to explain to you what the bang bus is. Two guys in a white windowless van, I think in Miami, with a video camera and a wad of cash. And they pull over the van, and they go up to a girl on the side of the road, video camera rolling, cash waving under her face. Hey baby, come into that van. We want to fuck you. What kind of message does that send to kids? See that stranger? Grab her into the back of your van. She will totally fuck you, bro. Oh, when I think of the things that kids are learning about sex in America, it's just, ugh, disgusting. I mean, as art seeks to imitate life, and life seeks to pursue expanded forms of consciousness, or whatever it is that art majors say to get freshmen to fuck them, so too does porn seek to warp and tarnish our expectations. Now, let's say you like older ladies. There's nothing wrong with that. But by the time internet porn is done with you, you're gonna be looking up videos of grannies wearing leather with whips and chains. Did you always have that fantasy? You absolutely did not. You've been interneted. Now, I don't want to give you the impression that I'm against sex or that I'm against porn. Porn, I think, I'll admit, fulfills fantasies. And fantasy is pretty nice. It's healthy. It keeps a lot of relationships alive. I've got one friend who, I didn't just look at that. I've got one friend who's totally into Harry Potter stuff. I mean, not my cup of tea, but the way he talks about doing stuff with wands, it's actually rather intriguing. And I've got another friend who's totally into, like, he's a prince with a harem of beautiful girls. Those are bona fide fantasies, but they also draw on your imagination. It's like sex and a thought exercise. It's awesome. It's educational. The problem, though, is when you replace that imaginative process with just some lazy internet whack-and-jack. Look, when one of the myriad of thoughts going through your head as you evacuate your balls into the napkin or the sock or the kitchen sink is, wow, that girl looked really sad. Then you need to change things up. Grab a girl. Grab a guy for all I care. Experiment within the limitlessness of your imagination. Because seriously, internet porn? Fuck it. Thank you.